Comrade, do you want your joints to stop to creak? Do you want to reclaim the buoyant flexibility of your youth? Do you want to build strength together with flexibility and say goodbye to most athletic injuries? Then enter Superjoints. Comrade, joint mobility drills from part 1 are very popular in Russia because they improve the mobility of your creaky joints. They may even prevent and possibly reverse arthritis. Perform these exercises daily and do as many repetitions as your age. For example, 1, 2, 3 for a 50-year-old. If the joint already has had problem, do as many as a few hundred repetitions a day. Of course, work up to them gradually. Comrade, improve the mobility of your neck with 3 plain neck movement. Move slow and think of elongating your neck as you go. It's hard to do too many. Now, do shoulder circles. Change the direction whenever you feel like. Lubricate the many joints in your hand with the fist exercise. Pull your fingers back as far as they go. Helps to straighten out your arms. Bring them back this way. Pull them back. Bend it. Pull them back. Then rotate your wrists. Keep your hands like this. And make circles. Elbow circles. Lubricate your elbows and start on your shoulders, doing 1 arm at a time or 2 arms at a time. Observe. Fairly complex movement. Think of sticking your hand under the armpit, looping it around, stick it onto the armpit, looping it around. The other way is even more difficult. Both ways. Feel your shoulders rearrange themselves. This may take some time to master. The following shoulder mobility drill, although it does look like an Egyptian dance, is a popular exercise from Russian martial arts. Get your arms out and do this. Note how you pivot and note how your both palms end up facing up. And from the other side. Comrade, arm circles are for your shoulders. Start small and gradually increase the amplitude. You can do one arm at a time as well. Here's how you can improve the mobility of your ankles. Make circles. You could even write something. You can do the same thing with slight assistance from the ground. You can help yourself with your hands. Big circles. Big, big circles. Knee circles are also great for your knees. Make sure you do not make them big, because your knees are not supposed to move much from side to side. Observe. From inside out, from outside in. Just very small circles. Just like this. Just like this. And then place your feet together and rotate them together. Comrade, contrary to what you've heard, squats are awesome for rejuvenating your knees. However, to do them right, you must follow some rules. Number one, never let your knees bow in, like this. Your knees and your feet must point in the same direction, straight ahead or slightly out. Number two, keep your shins vertical and keep your weight on your heels. If you can't do it, hold on to something for balance. If you can't go down all the way, work your way into it. Remember, the weight is on your heels. Eventually, if you can balance yourself properly, you could do it like this. The hula hoop lubricates your hip joints. Make circles with your hips while trying to keep your shoulders in line with your feet. Make bigger and bigger circles in both directions. Once you get further proficient, you could try belly dancing. Elvis rules. a very popular exercise among Russian martial artists because it teaches you how to align the hip and chamber. The way you perform belly dancing is you tilt the pelvis in 4 consecutive directions. You tilt it this way, that way, this way, that way. Do it in private. Do your hips a favor and do the Cossack roll. Make sure that your knees do not bow in. Your knee and your foot must track. And then pivot and shift your weight from one side to the other. Do not put your hands on your knees. You may touch your thighs though. Eventually, you may be able to go deeper and keep your feet wider. You may hold on to something for balance. Eventually, if your knees can handle it, work your way down to the ground. Comrade, split switches are real dandy for your hip joints. Hold on to something for balance, keep your knees locked, and do not keep your feet any wider than you can handle it. Observe. Here's a great exercise for the health and mobility of your spine. Observe. Articulate every vertebrae. Think of elongating your spine as you inhale and wrapping it around as you exhale. If your knees can handle it, you can do this while kneeling as well. Reclaim the buoyant flexibility of your youth. Comrade, the joint mobility drills from part 1 will make your joints run smooth as well-oiled machines. The exercise from part 2 will take you a step further in improving the health of your joint and also in reducing the possibility of athletic injury. There are 2 types of flexibility, active and passive. Passive flexibility is when you get down on the floor in the split and the gravity helps you. Active flexibility is when you raise your leg overhead and you get in the stretch using your force. Russian scientists have discovered that the great difference between your active and passive flexibility, or lack of what is called strength flexibility, sets you up for injuries. On the other hand, great strength flexibility, or the ability to assume stretch positions using your own steam, correlates to great athletic performance. Also, children are advised to focus their stretching on active flexibility drills. You should do these exercises at least every other day. You may do them in conjunction with your joint mobility exercises. Unlike the joint mobility drills, which are not very strenuous, and you can do them for hundreds of repetitions, these exercises require a high degree of muscular tension, so you don't do as many. Just keep on practicing as long as you see improvement. For example, do 5 sets of 5 contractions. If you're flexible enough in your hamstrings, you can do this drill seated on the floor. Look over your shoulder. And if your hamstrings aren't flexible enough to enable you to keep a straight back and straight legs while sitting on the floor, then you can do this sitting on the edge of a chair. Make sure the chair is stable. The windmill is very popular in Russia. This exercise is great for your back, your waist, and your shoulders. Use muscular force to slowly reach further and further, from right to left, from left to right. Keep a straight back. It's normal for the hips to shift from one side to the other. If you can't do that, try one of the following variations. The Pink Panther technique is the most powerful tool in improving your strength flexibility. Do you remember how one and only Chief Inspector Clouseau, yes, was pushing his shoulder against the doorway? And suddenly somebody on the inside opened the door, so the inspector just sailed through the whole room and out of the window into the canal. Go get the movie. It's required watching. Here's how this technique works. You use your muscular strength and push against your partner. Shallow breathing, steady tension. Suddenly, your partner moves back. Just a little, not too much, for safety. Observe. Legs straight. Put your palms against your partner's palms, keep your arms locked. Now, apply tension gradually. Shallow breathing, hold the tension, then your partner will suddenly move. You see, just a little, so it wouldn't go too far. Then do it again. Tension, use your body strength, and suddenly he moves. It's best if he moves without you knowing it. Tension. For example, I'll close my eyes and he'll move without warning. Tension. 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 Thank you, John. You can also do this technique by yourself. Tension against the ground, fall through. Fall through. Make sure that your toes point up. You can use this technique for many exercises. Be creative. The bridge is an awesome exercise that develops strength flexibility in your hips, back, and shoulders. Observe. Some comrades find it too hard for their wrists. They can do it on their fists. Or you can work up to it, doing the dip bridge. In any variation of the bridge, make a point of elongating the spine and wrapping it around, instead of bending it in one spot. Another fine exercise that you can do before you can do a full bridge is the shoulder bridge. Make sure to keep your weight on your shoulders and not on your neck. Observe. Enjoy. Here's a fine drill that will improve the active flexibility of your shoulder and your side. Stand with your feet fairly close together and knees locked, and reach for the side as far as you can. Strictly sideways, no twisting whatsoever. Your hips will naturally kick over to the opposite side, so you preserve your balance. Keep reaching further and further. It's a good idea to reach for some mark. For example, stand away from the wall and reach for the wall. Mark the spot where you're standing with tape and slowly try to increase the distance from the wall. Whenever you're aiming for a goal, you always do much better than when you're just stretching. And this is what it looks like from the other side. This drill will improve your shoulder blade mobility and loosen up the tight muscles in the area. Place your hands together like this. Keep your elbows locked. And then push forward. And as you're pushing forward, hunch over and let your shoulder blades kick out. Push as far as you can. Shoulder dislocates with a bungee cord are very popular with weightlifters who have tremendous flexibility in the shoulder girdle. Take a bungee cord, keep your arms straight, make this circle, and bring your arms back. And bring it forward. Make sure to keep your arms locked. You'll notice a distinct movement in your shoulder blades. Once that becomes easy, hold down the bungee cords with your hands closer together. In addition to flexibility, you get the obvious strength effect. The bathtub push is a powerful chest opener, popular with old-time strongmen. If you don't feel like using your bathtub, you can get a sturdy chair. Press against the chair and force your chest to open. Breathe shallow. Enjoy. Ghost, pulling a knife, is a fine Chinese exercise that helps to open up your shoulders. Stand with your feet slightly pigeon-toed and your knees straight. Place one hand behind your head and the other hand between your shoulder blades. Then press your hand and your head together so your elbow would go back, so you press one against the other. And the same way, press the other palm against your back, so your back would open up. Keep the tension in your armpit. The Pink Panther is guaranteed to improve your kicks for martial arts. They're going to get higher and they're going to get stronger. Raise your knee as high as you can, chamber for a kick, and place your hands against your knee. Now push your knee against your hands, and at some point suddenly move your hands away. Push, and suddenly move away. Note how your knee just falls through. Push, move away. You can practice other kicks as well. You can raise your knee to the side. You could chamber it this way. Martial artists improve the height and power of your kicks with the Pink Panther technique. Hold on to something for balance or lean against the wall. Chamber for a kick and have your partner push against it. The partner presses for a while, then suddenly releases. Your leg goes up. Observe. Tension, release. Tension, release. Tension, release. Bring it down, loosen it up, and continue. Release. Or have your partner support it for you, so you can rest before continue. Thank you. You can do the same thing with other kicks. Release. Release. Tension. Release. Tension. Release. Tension. Release. Tension. Release. Tension. Release. Comrade, here's how you improve your active hip extension. This stretch is excellent for martial artists, dancers, and sprinters. Lie on your belly and lift your straight leg with a pointed toe. Your partner will apply tension against the top of your leg. You push against the partner, steady tension. At some point the partner moves his hand. Suddenly, your leg pops up. Your partner then will support your leg and let you a chance to rest for a little bit. Then you repeat the drill. Push up, steady tension, steady. Suddenly the leg goes up. The partner lets you rest again. You may combine this technique with forced relaxation. Right now I'm going to be pushing down. Gently build up the tension and push down. Shallow breathing. Remember, don't hold your breath. And at one point it'll just suddenly relax. Now partner is going to push again from the top. And suddenly let's go. My leg pops higher. Again from the top. And suddenly let's go. And then supports and lets me rest. Dancer, master the arabesque. Work on the floor for a while. Once you get fairly proficient, try it standing up. Make sure that between tensions, you try to elongate your body all the way down along your spine, all the way down to your toes. Observe. Say goodbye to worthless warm-ups. Never again do relaxed stretching that does more harm than good. Achieve well-lubricated joints and a functionally flexible body with Super Joints.